Then I Google my first boyfriend, who plays hockey for Boston, to make sure I have more sites than him. Yep. I do. I don't care what anyone thinks. I do.
Did you send him a link?
I did. Honestly, no, I don't. I knew that I finally got to a point, because he was already playing professional hockey by the time I was 19, and I knew that I'd gotten to a point where I was like, oh my god, I can actually make a career out of this, when I got more sites than him. And I think I might have actually called my mom, and I was like, Mom, I have more sites than Andrew. I was very excited, but he's still playing. He's fine.
I don't do it a lot. I recently, I think it was last year, I got the Google alert thing. I'm just not very good at it. Not very good at doing the press or keeping up fan pages. I don't Twitter. I have a hard enough time just keeping those closest to me, keeping in contact with them, not just through text and emails. I'm not very good at that stuff. I need to get better at it. Everyone I know is like, do you tweet? Do you tweet? Do you Twitter? I'm like, no. I don't.
I really don't Google myself what to do, you guys. It's like once a week. It's like once a week.
Hey guys, just wanted to say welcome to Australia. It's really great seeing you. Tahmoh, a question for you, mate. As an actor, did you find Battlestar Galactica was a bit of an emotional roller coaster for you? Especially with, Sharon and your kid and all that sort of thing going on, and especially, that really poignant scene where, you and the chief run in and it's like, the girl that you love is getting raped right there, it's like, wow, was that like...
I mean, there was one of many, just like the other scene I mentioned where I had to shoot my wife, it wasn't easy for Hero and Sharon. That was the theme of the show, and I love that they stayed true to it. I mean, you got 40,000, 50,000, 40,000 people left of humanity running for their lives, being hunted. The reality of that is really ugly. On top of it, you're stuck in a fake worship in space. They stay so true to the circumstances, the situation of Battlestar in the show, and I love the writing. And, we got accused many times of being too dark, but, I think that's part of the reason that I love the payoff in the end. Because I remember Michael Reimer approaching me in the last episode and asking me, he's like, well, what do you think about Hero dying? And I said, you know what, it's too predictable. Too many people actually think that's going to happen. And I think many different times throughout the course of the show, one of us was going to die, especially me. It was that love that couldn't be.
Someone goes to tell people all the time.
Always. And I knew that. I just knew it. Come on. I'm not doing anything for the other male leads, all 6'4" with my ass, walking around making Jimmy and Eddie and everyone look like very small.
And all of us girls loved standing next to Tahmoh because we actually felt like women.
Yeah. I was always the first couple seasons and I'm like, oh god, when is it coming? Every time I get a new script, I'd be like, go through, not dead, bullshit. Not dead, stress! For a long time it was like that. I really didn't know when I was going to be killed. But it was an emotional roller coaster. There was often times, being a young actor, doing some of those scenes, especially the scene where, I had to shoot my wife. That was a very emotional scene. Luckily, when I read it, I just knew that I'd be able to get to that place. It didn't require a lot of work. It didn't require a lot of preparation. That was the third season, so I'd already developed such a safe and secure relationship with Grace Park and Michael Reimer, the director, that in that crew at that time, that I knew I was in a safe environment. Now I could go to that ugly place that I needed to. But that stayed with me for a few days. I was in funk, and oftentimes when you did scenes like that, it was very hard. The scene you mentioned with Douglas and I, the chief and I, were running down and she's getting raped. Reimer, being that director that he is, made us basically listen to her getting raped for 5-10 minutes before he'd let us run in. So there's all this prep and her screaming and yelling. I was losing it. I really was. Acting aside, I wanted to go in there and smash these stunt guys and all the actors in the room. I was wound out. Some people got hurt in that scene. I think I probably got hurt more than anybody because of Paul Lazenby, that massive stuntman. I remember Paul Lazenby. I just met him at the time, and he was like, he's one of the stunt guys in the scene. And He was like, listen, buddy, you know, come in and knee me, elbow me, do whatever you want. I'm like, you don't want me to knee you, or elbow you, trust me.
You guys haven't seen Tahmoh fight. You don't want him to knee you or elbow you.
Yeah, not to seem crazy, but you know, I've been doing it for a while. It's not going to feel nice. Paul's a big, thick guy, but I'm like, seriously, big guy, you don't want that to happen. And he's wearing a chest plate and pads and stuff, and he's like, no, seriously, do it. Okay, buddy, because I'm getting riled out, getting warmed up for the scene. So the first scene, I ran in there, and I jumped through the air, like, knee him in the chest, and he, you know, falls over. He's a 250-pound man. He falls over and slides across the floor, and I'm like, didn't feel you did it. He's like, no, harder. I'm like, okay. So then it's my mission to, like, need this stuntman hard enough that he's going to give me some respect and say, Jesus Christ, man, that hurt. Whoa! You know what I mean? It took me about 5 times before I finally got it right. Finally got a squeak out of him. Yeah, anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you.
Well, we've made it to the end of the panel without you dying.